lose my
Zero
job.
will be on the run and Freaks will be dead. Alright, anyway.
On the top right of Habitation Station Ladder Edition, our Red Zerg player, Shmeegeggy.
And his opponent in the top left of the map, also a frequenter in the various day-night events, as well as the Day 9 TV channel. It is Faroukrulz.
That icon.
I know, it's so good!
The floating Sean. Nice. It's fantastic.
I really want to see somebody use the DJ emoticon, which is the one from when he was imitating that screech thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was like describing that event where he was there with casting with JP.
Right.
Nobody's used that yet. Maybe I should put that as ours. So I can come up with a logo for mine.
Nice.
Trying to decide if I want to do something like that or if I should just take, because it's supposed to be the master list, like instead not team list is what people think it is, but I'm thinking of taking like the Masters logo and then putting the X-Men X over it.
Speaking of which,
but yeah,
the movie's coming out, man. Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that looks interesting. I'm actually terrified of it, to be honest, because that's a time travel plot in the X-Men universe. There's going to be all the characters in that, and times 2. That's gonna be difficult. There's a lot of ways that could go wrong. I hope they do a good job, but
I do too.
I would not be surprised if it bombed.
But you know what else comes out next weekend?
Ooh, what?
Godzilla.
Ooh,
I'm so excited for Godzilla.
See, that one I don't need to be good. I just need to have a giant lizard and break stuff.
Exactly, and I honestly think it's gonna be. The model looks a lot more true to the original Japanese one as opposed to the shitty 1998 Godzilla. But I think it looks like a fantastic movie so far. I don't know if you've seen the trailers for it. They have like 5 of them out, and they're all amazing.
No, I haven't. I usually just avoid that stuff until I get to go see it.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Like, I didn't really see anything for Captain America Winter Soldier before I saw that. Great movie, by the way. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Loved that one.
I liked it too, but I actually preferred the first one.
Really?
Reason for that being, I actually felt like Captain America was his character was developed in the first one, and in the second one, he just seemed like a walking tank. But I mean, it was a great action movie. I'll say that. I did actually love all the fighting scenes and stuff. It was a lot of fun. But Faroukrulz with the age-old Forge Fast Expand Naniwa style, FFE or Die Trying. I would have actually liked to see some proxy cannon shenanigans with that initial scout probe. That would have been funny. I don't know.
And there was actually an opening for it. I didn't really see an overlord floating over the base to watch for it or anything. Yeah. But still, at the same time, if you're not used to doing it, it can backfire really bad. So I can't blame him too much for that. Unfortunately, his wall is not quite good enough. He doesn't have a solid up here, and he's got a huge space, and these lings are going to go walking right in. Oh,
wait, no, they're not.
Oh.
Not yet.
Gathering up. They're waiting.
They're waiting. Oh, is he going to put something down?
Oh, he better.
Faroukrulz. Oh, no.
What?
Oh, he can't.
Okay, there you go. I think that's not what he wanted to do.
Okay, do something before the links go. No, quick, quick. No, it's not good enough.
No, but...
It's a little bit better. It's forcing him to run all the way around. Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna kill a couple. He killed maybe 3-4 lings, but now they're in the main area. Now he's gonna have to fight with the mineral line. See how good his micro is. He's not pulling any of the injured probes back. Thankfully, Shmeegeggy actually, for Farouk, I mean, he pulled out of there and actually allowed some of the fresh probes to get a chunk of the Zerglings. And he's lost a little bit, but at this point, it's more just how much mining time can we make him lose. And he's going to pick off a couple more probes. Nice.
No, hey, Shmeegeggy, it might be round 2, but this was in the round 3 folder that Faust sent me, so I just assumed that Faust was right and you were wrong. Maybe I was. Apparently, we were both wrong. Faust, if you're watching, I don't think you are. Shame on you.
This is extremely brutal for Farouk right now because he's not killing any of these lings. They're occasionally finding probes to pick off. And this has been going on for nearly a minute, so he's lost like every single probe times 100's worth of minerals. It's pretty bad.
following up with a bunch of roaches as well, and just another big wave of lings. You know, while he's keeping Farouk occupied back here, he's not able to do a whole lot back here as far as production goes. I mean, the zealot's going to fall very shortly, and that's it.
Yeah, once that wall goes down, once this force gets in there, there's just nothing. And yeah, he was too tied up economically for the whole game.
Which means taking away game 1 within 8 minutes.
You know, I often say it to the Zerg players that I know, if you see your Protoss buddy screw his wall up, it's totally fine to punish him for it. He's got to learn that stuff somehow.
It does really suck, though, that like one
it hurts,
tiny misclick, you know.
Yes, it hurts, but you gotta get good at that. You gotta play the Protoss macro style.
I've tried playing Protoss as well, and I think I talked to you about this, but
yeah, it's precise.
You
can't screw up
precise. Like the zealot is like less than a foot away from where he should be, and all the lings come in, and I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
it takes a lot of work with that. And the thing is, I mean, people talk about all the time, it's super strong when you do it right. Yes, and if you mess up anything when you're macroing with Protoss, you're probably dead.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, well, Shmeegeggy taking away game 1 in a very commanding fashion. Let's go on to game 2. On Frost Lateration, with a fairly large map.
I don't think Protoss is here anymore, but I was practicing with him the other day, and he pretty much, I was like, I hadn't played in 2 weeks, and he punished my walls pretty hard. But
yeah, that's not fun. But on the bottom left, a Frost Ladder edition here in game 2 of this series. We have our red Zerg player, Shmeegeggy. Say hello to him in the chat for us. Shout out to Shmee.
in the bottom right of the map, we have his opponent, who maybe a little on tilt from having a game where the lings just got in through the wall and kind of makes you go, ah! But nonetheless, we have Dem's Faroukrulz. Hopefully, he can keep his focus in this game.
Keyboard smashing moment there.
Yeah, it's not fun. Like, even though I'm saying you should, if you see an opportunity against a Protoss player, you should take it. Just expect that the Protoss player, especially if you're like hanging out with him in Skype, he's gonna be mad for about a minute, at least. Immediately after that, like you might just let him have a break.
See him next day at school. He's gonna be all pissed off at you.
Nah, he shouldn't be angry for that long. I mean, it happens often enough that you get used to it.
You asshole! You broke my wall. I'll never forgive you.
Or he might just be like, "God, I'm terrible." Like he might do the opposite and get all depressed. That actually happens too.
Yeah, Zerg is frustrating to play against as any race, just for that reason. If you mess up your wall, you die.
Oh. That's again if you're going for the macro style. I mean, there's a reason a lot of players like to go for that crazier one-base stuff.
Oh yeah. So not actually seeing a spawning pool yet. We're at 17 supply. So Shmee not really going to put on a whole lot of pressure. Overlord is going to scout the base here very shortly. He doesn't know about the forge just yet. Oh, and there goes the pool. So, I mean, this is definitely the way to go when you're playing against a forge expanding Protoss player. You know, they're going to be stuck in their base for a little while, especially when they open to the forge. So that's your opportunity to macro up and drone up to get ahead.
From Farouk's perspective, you notice that he went down cannon before the Nexus. Mm-hmm. That's actually a tweak thing that's based on scouting. If you get into the base and you see that the hatchery has gone down very early and they can't have very many links, a lot of players will actually get the Nexus first. But when you can't scout them right away, you have to play with the assumption that maybe lings are coming at you, which is kind of, you know, it's that fun aspect of playing on a 4-player map that you need to have that built in, like if you don't get to scout them right away.
I do like the Forge Fast expand, though. I like how precise you have to be. As frustrating as it can be, it's really interesting to see everything fit together. It's just satisfying.
Yeah, it's neat when you do it right. Anybody who's actually struggling with that sort of thing, There's one real good player to watch for it is actually Noni. He's basically been the wall scientist since Brood War, from what I am told.
Same, and he's actually making a comeback, I think.
Yeah, he was playing against Jaedong the other day, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? I want to say. I don't know how he did in that match, unfortunately. I only got to see kind of like a few minutes of WCSAM the other day.
Actually, a complete wall off there.
Denying the probe. Probe being like, hey, man, why you do that? Why aren't you gonna let me in?
Now he's kissing his ass.
And not putting up another building, which he actually should
like,
do.
Screw it. It's good enough. I don't want to overdo it.
This is actually one wall where if you can not have the pylon in the wall, it's a little bit more ideal structure. You'll have just enough space to put a zealot there. If you do put the pylon in there, then you're going to have to do kind of a staggered wall. Where you have a building kind of behind the pylon if you want to reduce it to the size of a zealot. The space, that is.
I figured he would put down another pylon just ahead of that one and try to close that gap off a little bit more. You know, that's kind of open there. Take more than one zealot to hold that off. Speed is now finished, though. So are we going to see some two-base ling production? He's got a few lings already out on the map, just doing some scouting. It's pretty standard stuff. Oh, he's going to go for the third base. Not a bad choice. You know, as I was saying earlier, you know, we have the Forge Expand from Faroukrulz. He's going to be stuck in the base a little while, so why not just go ahead and take a third? I actually see in the chat here Zero Lamb talking about the two-base Immortal Sentry drop. That is one of those extremely powerful... Wait. Double Forge in the back? What?
Interesting. I
go
don't...
all three expansions, or all three upgrades at the same time?
If he tries to... Oh. Yeah, he probably just forgot.
Gas heavy.
He probably just forgot about the one at the front. It happens from time to time.
He can't have. He just started. Okay.
There you go.
Right.
No, that's better than leaving it there, I guess. But still, and he's going for robo play. Okay, so this is either some kind of two-base push, or
I hope we're
going to see him claw his way up to a Colossus and try to grab a third.
I would definitely love to see some Immortal Sentry stuff. You transition into that, and then actually just drop out of the Fort's Fast Expand, so you don't really have to push out across the map. It'll be interesting. He may not have the gas to support it, and he's getting the double gas at the expansion. But do you think this is the timing, now that he has ground weapons level 1 on the way?
Maybe. I mean, this is actually +1 is something you will pick up in a lot of the macro builds. So it might not be, but it's hard to say. The thing is, he's actually, more importantly, there's this potential push at the front, and that not enough covering the front here. The lings will go straight through that. The question will be, is he actually going to wait physically long enough for him to photon overcharge? Because if he does, this will get held.
It's going to be difficult. Photon overcharge, yeah, he has enough energy for it now, and that's definitely good. But he doesn't have warp gate just yet, so he's not able to. Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff coming across the map right now. Looks like he's got an Immortal on the way, a Robo Bay as well, and 3 more gateways, but warp gate is not yet finished. So close. I don't think he's gonna have enough to hold here. I mean, he's dropping 3 more cannons, but these are all just scattered around the back end of the base here to protect against mutas, I'm assuming. I don't really know why. It must be just like a gut thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know if even Photon Overcharge will hold this off.
This is probably a reaction, because one of the things that you're a reaction to other games he's played, because one of the things you're super vulnerable to doing this is mutalisks. Unfortunately, that's totally not what's happening. So that shoving all that money into photon cannons down at the back is actually not going to do anything, unfortunately. But what he really needs right now is either a couple cannons at the front or a lot more units.
He does have an observer out, but you know, the Immortal is definitely a good start. We see a lot of roaches out here.
He also has 4 sentries, so if he can get some nice walls, then he can prevent a lot of the damage that this would have.
So many cannons going down, and I don't like it.
Again, he's securing himself against Mutalisks, but he hasn't really scouted it, so it's...
Yeah.
I mean, he's just... I think at this point, he's just thinking it's better I spend my money on something than nothing.
Look what's on the way. We have centrifugal hooks, so we're going to see a Baneling bust. And
Potentially, or simple contain. I mean, it's actually getting to the point where Farouk needs to expand soon because he's not going to be able to really afford the gas to do everything he's going to want to do. And hey, this observer is going to be like, oh, there's an army over here.
but you know
boss,
what?
we got a problem.
Yeah. The thing is, we do have 4 sentries, so force fields can protect against the banelings quite easily. But he's going to lead with the roaches. And are we going to see a fast enough force field? No, we're not. The wall opens and the lings are not going to get in because they're blocked by roaches. Oh, no.
Slight control error, but I can't blame him for backing off there. You see the photon overcharge, and attacking into it is a little bit of a risk, especially with 2 immortals right there.
First Colossus is so close to being done as well. I think that'll definitely help him out here, definitely help to take care of a lot of these lings. 2 immortals, which are in the front, not really the best spot for those to be done. Oh, no,
Colossus is good. See if you can trap him with the force fields. Nope. Okay. Well, again, you know, it looks like we're just gonna back off and move to later game. Now, here's the difficult thing. There's a Spire coming up. So if he can use this army to prevent attempts to expand, then eventually he can tech switch into Mutalisks, and there really isn't going to be a whole lot Farouk can do about it. Even with all these cannons, they can't cover the production, which is where he'd most likely get hit.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely frustrating and definitely effective when such an immobile army. So he's actually blocking off completely.
No, there's actually a zealot-sized space in there, just barely.
If it's a zealot-sized space, it's a ling-sized space.
Yep, but you need to have that hole there, or else every time you try to expand, you need to blow something up, which is a little bit inefficient. Especially if you have this many force fields in your army, it shouldn't be necessary for you to do a complete wall-off.
We have another immortal on the way. Like a total of 4 immortals and a 5th following that. He shouldn't overcommit to the immortals, though. I mean, this is more than enough to take care of the roaches that are out right now. You know, he obviously with the cannons, he was expecting a Mutalisk, and that is going to eventually come here. And the Spire is finished. Yeah, it's done. So I don't know. Do you think we'll see Mutas or Corruptor transition for Colossi?
I don't know. It's going to depend on what he likes stylistically. I would prefer Mutalisks a little bit in this this setup, but
it's going to be incredibly gas heavy because he's already producing roaches and hydras.
Yeah, he'd have to drop one of them. He has about 900 gas though, so can't get about 10 units.
And he makes 9 Mutalisks, so so there we go. You know, the biggest thing about that is okay. So look at this. We actually have 4 cannons surrounding production. So he's really going overboard on the cannons.
Yeah, at this point, he's actually had enough time and thrown down enough cannons that he is actually creating a scary situation for the Mutalisks. He would need to go up toward critical mass numbers, 30 to 40, to actually be able to barge in there and just attack like that, or else he's going to lose most of them. Hopefully, the thing is, though, there's still openings. Like, he can still pick off pylons. He can still pick at that gateway. He can still do some damage with this and keep him running around, try to flood lings in through the front.
Ooh.
And yeah, this is...
It's like he said, he's going to start picking away at these pylons there. How much is he actually going to pull back to try and kill those off? Or is he confident that the cannons can deal with this? Looks like he's going to head back there with another support, possibly drop the photon overcharge, and there he goes. I think that was a little bit premature.
The thing is, though, it doesn't reach out this far, and he's not going to... He'll try to dive in further, he's going to see the photon overcharge and be like, nope, and back out of there.
Also, we also saw, 6 Corruptors were produced. So, 8 more on the way. Oh, man, that's a lot of Corruptors. Perhaps we'll even see Viper eventually, probably after we see a 4th base. I think Vipers will come into play to abduct the Colossi. Whether we'll get to that point, though, I don't know. I mean, these units are going to be very annoying.
I would actually prefer that he either goes into something like Broodlords or just pushes more Mutalisks. The only reason for that is Vipers are really good at a timing where you can just kind of float forward and pick off the Colossus, but with the kind of time that's gone by, he may actually start throwing in High Templar in there, and a few High Templar with feedback will deal with that pretty well. And whereas this, like, okay, he sees the army positioned at the front. Is he going to run in with the Mutalisks again? No, he's not. Well, there's way too much defenses there. The problem, unfortunately, for Farouk is he really doesn't have the kind of gas he needs to start getting the more important tech. Which is why, again, I would actually like something like Brood Lords or Swarm Hosts in this situation, because it will just punish this really badly.
I also would like to see more gateway units thrown into the mix here. It seems like he has a lot of high priority units without too much lower tier stuff to soak up the damage.
Especially Zealots.
Yeah.
Very light on
Zealots.
Zealots.
See some good force fields as well. One Colossus already getting picked off.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
man.
is too much.
Another one already dying.
It's too much stuff. Like, he can, even if he dealt, yeah, he's going to lose all the Colossus. It's a massive investment. Even if he could somehow hold off the army, he's going to have nothing to deal with the follow-up that comes after this.
Huge Stalker Warping, though.
Yeah, Stalkers that were there to deal with the Mutalisk. Mutalisk try to go in, discover that there is, in fact, the army of cannons. Therefore, not going to push that. But Shmeeg can just fall back, regroup, build another army. Because he's got that kind of resources.
And an additional 8 or 4 cannons, or a total of 8 here on the left side of the main base. I think that's a little bit too much. But considering the fact that he's got such a huge bank, why not? You know, I don't know where else he would have put that money. Considering the fact that he's still on 2 bases and he's kind of falling behind on production.
Shmeegeggy needs to grab another base if he wants to maintain this advantage. Oh, good, he's doing it.
Yeah,
and
never 5
mind.
bases now.
The only thing that he isn't doing is he's actually being quite a bit light on injects. I was actually wondering why another army wasn't already over there, but he's got just enough production to get there now.
185 out of 200, so almost max. He'll be there soon. Meanwhile, Faroukrulz down at 102, definitely dwarfed in the supply count, but he really, really needs an expansion. I mean, his main was mined out. So
this is the rough thing about playing as Protoss in this position is when you're on 2 bases worth of gas, you cannot go another tech. Like, you can try to, but you have to stop the other tech routes. So, like, if he still wants to build Colossus to deal with the ground threat, he cannot build High Templars. He can't really do both.
Definitely.
So
he needs more gas income to actually get up to that point. 3 bases.
He's going to take the risk. He's going to take the risk. He's going to try and grab the third, but here comes the army.
Oh, the Ring of Pylons is.
He's going to push out to try and deal with the army. Blinking forward! Incredibly risky maneuver, actually just jumping right in front of the Roach Hydra army, which is going to just try and ignore everything and focus on the Colossus. Oh, that works. It works. He's going to get rid of the Colossus. He's going to take out of the Mothership Core. Yeah, the Stalkers can blink, but that doesn't mean much against this composition, so...
Unfortunately, I think Faroukrulz is going to fall once again.
Soon, maybe?
I mean, he can...
Shmeegeggy is tempting. This is like he's teasing us here with this attack.
He's been turtling on 2 bases for quite a while, and each Colossus falls right away. There's no way Farouk can actually hold this.
Nope. Took too long. Didn't grab that third. There's nothing he can't keep up with the Zerg's production. There you go. There was actually a period of time there we did have, like, just before the Corruptors came out, where he did have the army that could actually have done it, I'd say.
Yeah. Those initial few mutas were kind of a nuisance, but I think at that point he did have quite a big enough death ball that he could have done something with it. Perhaps
if nothing else,
third base.
At least, yeah, and if nothing else, at least pressure for a third. At least get the opening for it. He definitely could have, but it's difficult to judge that timing. I mean, gotta remember. It's working with half the information we are.
Exactly.
He doesn't see that the opening's there.
24 links just now popping for Shmeegeggy. This is just going to be the final blow. Last few Stalkers with Faroukrulz and the Immortal. The last Immortal.
By the army.
Trying to stutter step the Immortal. Crab walking its way. Safety.
And the rest of the army is just like, fine. We'll stop us from killing our natural.
Yeah.
Oh, can't do that, can you?
Definitely a lost cause. I mean, Faroukrulz 3-3 with 2 shields on 2 bases. Not bad on his upgrades. Just he definitely needed that third base. Yeah. Just let Shmee kind of take the map and okay with the force field. Oh man.
Well, I guess he is buying himself time to think about what he's gonna do in the next match.
I guess that's true. He is out of income. Actually, building another cybercore. Likes his stalkers. Shmee just gonna take out the rest of these pylons. Delaying the inevitable for the most part. He's got a huge bang.
So I like Shmeegeggy's decision making here. If he sees him turtling up in the base, and he goes, fine, I'll just get more of an advantage and cut off all other realms of attack for you. Just make sure you've got nothing on the map, and then come back for another attack. Here we go.
He's maxed. It's just gonna A-click at this point. That's all he needs to do. There's really nothing. Okay, he's making a ton of banelings. That's his plan.
Ooh.
Okay. I think he's just playing with us at this point.
Well, pretty much. I mean, those force fields actually can shut down all the guns in the army that can actually shoot this. Like, he doesn't have any mutilisks in here. All these corruptors are basically just spectators.
Faroukrulz going all in.
Okay, well, school the probes. We know what that means. The Protoss is dead.
Yeah.
And here comes he's going to clash with the army. And
the Immortal.
all the corruptors were like, we got to shoot something.
Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Shmeegeggy taking away game 2. Faroukrulz. This is his last chance to bring back the series. Shmee in the chat. I felt like those Banes were BM. But that's why I made that comment. I thought you were just kind of playing with us at that point. Yeah, I pretty much won the game. I'm just going to make a ton of Banelings and go bust them over and over again. That's all I went. Sometimes it can work that way. It's fun to watch, that's for sure. It reminds me of apparently Faust. People kept ragging on him for all his Banelings in the Fun Day Monday a long time ago.
Yeah, I've watched that. That was actually a really good episode.
Shaw's got to be pretty close to done with his break, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he starts again next week. When did the break start? Let me see here.
I think it was like a week or 2 weeks before Lone Star. I think.
Well, easy way to check.
Yeah.
Opening up Day 9 TV. It's talking. Okay, the next thing is the day off tomorrow with Dark Souls. He doesn't have anything else on the schedule yet. Yeah, I am pretty sure that he's back on Monday. I don't know if there's a Fun Day Monday though. I kind of hope so. It'd be nice.
One of these recent weeks, he actually skipped Fun Day Monday, or did something different, right?
Yeah, that was in celebration of reaching 700 episodes. He just told stories. One of which, the first half of that was incredibly funny. The second half was pretty good too. It took him a couple minutes to get up to speed because he didn't plan the story out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, do an impromptu story. All right, so game 4 between Shmeegeggy, or game 3 between Shmeegeggy and Faroukrulz. On Merry-Go-Round Ladder Edition. This map.
So this map, actually, very little airspace around the bases because of these walls.
Mm-hmm.
The AC down there.
Yeah.
Great drop locations for Terran.
So spawning on the left side of the map, Merry-Go-Round, we have in the red trunks our Zerg player Shmeegeggy, who was up 2-0 in the series.
And in the bottom of the map, we have his opponent, Faroukrulz. So here's the thing, right? This map, really big ramp, compensated somewhat by the fact that it has debris on it. That debris is the exact same health as Pylon. So, frankly, any Zerg that decides to Baneling bust on this map, I don't blame him. Because if your opponent Forge Fast expands, it's actually pretty vulnerable to that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this map tends to play out actually kind of normally. If you can believe it.
I think you mentioned that last time we had this map, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Last time we cast it.
Yep.
That the debris is the exact same.
I mentioned that's a thing that's there. Like I've heard, I believe TLO has mentioned this as well about this map, that this is a really nice Baneling bus map. But I was going to say otherwise the most important thing is just the fact that Faroukrulz is going to probably expand to the right, and then Shmeegeggy is going to expand to this kind of tucked third, just because you don't want to give your opponent an easy time.
At that point, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It almost seems out of place to just have debris there, just like a random chunk of debris. It almost seems like a Band-Aid fix.
Yeah, I feel like making the ramp a little smaller may have been a little better, because like I said, I mean, I don't blame anybody who does it, and I think the success rate for it would be fairly high.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think I blame Blizzard a little bit for just being okay with that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. This doesn't occur to most people. So we usually end up seeing fairly normal games that when you're not with the pros on this particular map.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do see the spawning pool on the way for Shmeegeggy after that hatchery. Faroukrulz. Gas finished up, but nothing harvesting there. That was intentional. I almost think that was a missed timing or a misclick, because he still needs to save up for that Nexus.
Yeah, it's actually very unusual to grab gas this early if you're going for a Forge Fast expand. You usually get it around 20 supply rather than typical time. But it's not really a big deal. It's 75 minerals. Both players are not playing efficiently enough for that to be the only deciding factor unless somebody cheeses.
Yeah, of course. Actually going for 2 gateways before dropping down the Nexus.
Just wants to make sure he's as secure as he can be on this map. Again, the ramp is a little bit larger.
Yeah.
Than you are ordinarily accustomed to, and say something like Habitation Station.
Or Daedalus.
Yeah. Good old Deep P.
You had to go there, huh? Nexus should show up here any minute. There it is. Speed is also on the way, as well as a Roach Warren, which, as you've said in the past, could be for defensive purposes, but in this specific case, I think he's going to use it right off the bat, as we saw in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, he seems to be kind of a fan of the Roaches. So just stylistically, this makes a lot of sense with what we've seen already.
Yeah. Actually, okay, moving that cyber core to the left side.
So not quite in position. You actually have to tilt your camera to do this because of the way that the gateway is positioned.
Okay, so that's got to be it.
Yep.
Yeah. Just nice and snug there. Of course.
This is like one of those things that you don't really think about when you're trying to think about how to construct a wall on a map, but you do actually want to position the buildings so that you don't have to click around them.
Mm-hmm.
Because not because, it's going to kill you or anything, it probably won't. It's just that it's incredibly frustrating and makes you waste time on it. Double gas is down now.
I would like to see Warp Gate a little bit earlier. We didn't have it last time until like 10 minutes.
Depends on what he's doing, really. I mean, if he is just going to go for some other kind of tech, he doesn't expressly need it, but you're right. It is quite a bit delayed. Usually it does show up between 20 and 30 supply with most builds, and isn't quite going for that. And opting instead to get a couple stalkers early.
There it is. He's starting research now. So 140 seconds away.
+1 armor first in this matchup. Very interesting. I wonder if he's planning a push with sentries.
Mothership Core on the way as well. Dropping down the Robo. You know what? I mean, that would be really cool. I'd love to see something like that. He's getting the Robo right now. Throw on a couple of mortals and do something fun. We are seeing that very early Spire though. It's already halfway done, and we're at 8 minutes in the game. Farouk not stiffing that out.
Third base So this will probably be the usual 6-7 Muta harass. Cover the third base. Get some worker production, slow down the pro. Get some worker kills. There we go. And slow down the economy of the Protoss. Can't quite get up to the third base easily. Or he may be trying something else here. I'll have to wait and see. I mean, he has 2 games ahead. If you're going to try something weird, now's the time to do it.
It looks like, what are we going to see out of this? Okay, so the first Immortal on the way, and 8 Mutalisks. So, like you said, 7, 8 Mutalisks. We don't see any cannons. I mean, those early cannons would be way more useful in this game than last. He does have a few Stalkers, though. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I'm sure at that point, Warp Gate will be finished here very shortly. He'll be able to warp in some Stalkers in defense. He also has a Mothership Core for Photon Overcharge. And the Mutas are on the way. So, yeah.
Does he have enough energy for 2, though?
Oh, no.
No. No, he doesn't.
Oh no, this is completely unprotected.
And the Mothership Core is not in the middle between the 2 bases, so it's actually going to take quite a while to react.
We have 1 pylon there for a defensive warp-in, but, I mean, this is a lot of Mutas, and we're going to lose a lot of probes here.
And he's actually getting rid of the pylon first. Look at it. Once that's out of the picture, slows down the robo production. And looks like he's going to just pick off another pylon and leave.
So not too much done there.
Yeah, not even going to lose anything. Yeah, he didn't get much. He got a probe and a pylon. But he slows down production of the robo, which is incredibly frustrating if he had any kind of attack planned.
And they're coming right back in.
Yeah. Affecting Fate a bit, though, doing this while the Photon Overcharge is still there. As long as he gets out right away. Because, yeah, if he looks away, it's just going to shoot at the Nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loses 1 Mutalisk. Actually, not bad.
He's also counterattacking over the Naturals.
Which, unfortunately, are on the same hotkey group, I believe, as the Mutalisks.
I think he got everything. The Naturals
Oh,
not mining
he did.
anymore. We missed that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Control R. Holy crap!
27 workers killed for Shmeegeggy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we missed that. Just with a quick ling run, I think what happened was either they did kill the Zealot, or I think Farouk might have hit the full all army units because there's only 1 Zealot in the mix here, and just left the door wide open. And wow, great catch by Shmeegeggy. But the Mutas are back, causing more. Oh my god, sniping the pylon before that Immortal is done. Not that the Immortal is too crucial at this point, but wow, this is going to be incredibly frustrating for Farouk, especially losing all that production. He is so far behind right now. How do you deal with this as a Protoss player? You just have to know where everything is. Great map awareness.
This is that. Well, losing 2 games that way, that hurts. So I have to say, props to Shmeegeggy on that attack. It was really, really nicely executed. He hit simultaneously in both locations. A lot of people can't do that at this level.
Yeah, I mean, the dual-pronged attack there, definitely very hard for Farouk to deal with, considering, that he doesn't have blink. And in general, the Protoss army is pretty immobile for the most part. So looks like he's just going to go ahead and push. And really, at this point, why not? If you keep back on 2 bases, you're just going to get more and more behind.
Yeah, he has to do this now. I mean, unfortunately, he needs the really, really godly force field right across the center, which is not actually utilized. Or Guardian Shield, or something. He needs that. It's too late now, though.
Oh, no.
There's just not enough here to deal with the roaches, even, really.
Mopping up everything. Very well done by Shmeegeggy. Farouk.
There is no army left. He's warping in a few units at the front, but most of them can't shoot up.
Yeah, GG well played from Faroukrulz, and that leaves Shmeegeggy at a 3-0 lead, taking away the series. So, congratulations to Shmeegeggy. I suppose this was actually a round 2 game. Whatever. Fits right in, I suppose.